Good morning, Kate. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having me.
Man, when you use a word like fantastic, that means you're living that word. You're bringing things forward.
Oh, yes, I feel that way.
I love Peacock. I love the streaming service, and I love the fact that you are on Peacock. The Traitors is a murder mystery game that pulls so many people into the story. And when I say people, I mean the viewers get involved in it.
Yes, it's a really exciting new show on Peacock. I had such a great time being a part of it.
To be a part of that history, I mean, what is that like to step into that realm? Because, I mean, this is a new golden age for television in the way that people are really, really respecting and loving what's on that flat screen.
Right, so it is such a new experience to be on a streaming platform, but it's all within the NBC Universal family because I was on Bravo for so long. Mm-hmm. And, you know, there really is a lot of familiar Bravo faces crossing over into the Peacock landscape. So while it is a new area, it didn't feel completely foreign.
The Traitors have to come up with a plan to steal the prize. That to me is like a good murder mystery novel where you've got to sit there and put the pieces together. And you know what it is? And Kate, I look into the picture even deeper because I'm looking for little Easter eggs.
Mm-hmm.
How do you come up with that plan? How do you build it together? Because you guys have got to work together.
Right. So going into the game on the Traitors, where we're going to be competing for $250,000, a lot of people ask, like, what's your strategy? And
Yep.
as much as I would have loved to have one, there were so many unknown variables that it was almost impossible to have a strategy. I really went with the cross the fingers and hope for the best plan.
That's interesting you say that because I believe in stream thinking. That means that what's happening in your presence of now, you've got to make a decision right now. And that's something that you've got to be able to trust it. Was it easy for you to do that?
I like hearing that. That's definitely how I tend to live my life, and that was my strategy going in. And I think I generally, after years of working on yachts where you really have to, you know, be good at improvising and thinking on your feet, I trust my gut at this point, and I think it serves me well for the most part.
Don't you think that most viewers, when they go to Peacock and they see the Traitors, they're going to see this as I always call this a head game in the way that it plays with the heart, but it also makes you work. It's like brain exercising.
Yes, and not to mention it's also physical, physically demanding challenges, which I was not expecting. So we were building relationships with our cast members. We were doing the mental challenge of trying to figure out who the traitors amongst us were and how we were going to discern that. But then we also had these very demanding physical challenges as well.
Does that rebuild your trust factor out here in the real world? Because, I mean, all of a sudden, I mean, sure, it's a game when you're on TV, but does it open your eyes out here?
Actually, no, I think the reverse. I had trust issues going into the game.
Oh, wow.
I've been around the world and around the block enough times I've got my set of guidelines for who and who not to trust, and I'm still honing them every day because there's always surprises around the corner. But it was unfortunate that when we were playing the game in the castle in Scotland, there was no way to apply those real-world guidelines to what we were actually doing out there because it was such a unique experience.
What did you personally learn from it then?
You know, I learned that I was perhaps overconfident in my judge of character discerning skills going in. I thought certainly I'd be able to nail down who the traitors were pretty quickly, and it proved to be much more difficult than I expected.
Yeah, but what's great about that, though, is that, you know, when you go into it as a celebrity, it shows off your human side. And I think that's, you know, as viewers, it really brings you closer to us.
Sure. And I was in a position of management, and I guess some would say somewhat power on below deck as chief stewardess for 6 years. So it was really great for me to have this opportunity to kind of be on an even playing field for the most part with the rest of my cast members on the Traitors on Peacock.
When it was first presented to you to be on Peacock's The Traitors, was it something you had to think about, or was it like, you know, I've been wanting to do this, I'm all over this?
I certainly had to take a couple of days to think about it. As much as I wanted to go to a castle in Scotland, and as much as I wanted to, you know, do this exciting new show for Peacock, I wasn't sure how good I would be at this kind of game because I'd never been on a competition show before, and there are some familiar reality faces that have done things like Survivor and Big Brother, so that was a little intimidating.
Is there any, when going through the experience and stuff like that, does it inspire you as a writer or as a creative that it's like, I'm going to pull something from this and use it in a future character somehow, some way?
There was certainly no shortage of strong personalities and characters in that castle in Scotland, but I think the main focus, well, my time was there, was just surviving and the tasks at hand.
Part of the personality of the show is that castle, because you find yourself as a viewer looking at everything that's going on that flat screen. I mean, when you've got a 72-inch flat screen TV, you're watching every emotion that you're expressing on your face, everything that's going on in the background.
Right. I mean, the setting alone was almost its own cast member because it was so surreal and fairy tale-like. It truly felt like we'd been transported to another world.
I giggle like a kid because we all have our ideas of what it's like to be in a castle. And I've been on the set up for a TV show, and it's freezing in there. Was the castle freezing as well?
Yeah, we were in Scotland in April, so it was quite chilly. And also, the castles in general tend to be a bit drafty.
All right, the good news about it being on Peacock is that people can actually binge watch this. If they're coming to it late and things like this, they can really just check it out, become a part of it, and really become part of the conversation. I mean, the Traitors on Peacock is a water cooler conversation about to start.
That's right.
Excellent. You got to come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you, Kate.
All right. Thank you so much.
You be brilliant today, okay?
Have a great day.